Hey guys, it's Castle of Warriors, and today I'm going to show you how to make a brownie in a mug. Now, I've been making these for years, and the recipe's been floating around on the internet for a long time, hopping from blogspot to blogspot across various random recipe blogs and Tumblr posts. And I decided I should try and track down who actually made this recipe, and it was not easy. Like, really hard, but I eventually tracked down a higher quality version of the image that has the recipe on it and found that the mug that they are using for the recipe has gopromos.com written on it. But when I went to that website, it was defunct and unavailable. So that was the end of the trail. But that doesn't stop me from actually making the recipe, so I'm gonna show y'all how to do it. I just gotta noom on down to my kitchen. Shazam! So, for this recipe, you are gonna need some sugar. I personally went with white sugar. I don't know how brown sugar would work here. Some flour. You can go with either white or whole wheat. I went with white for the sake of flavor, but if you want to go healthier, you can go whole wheat. Some fair trade cocoa powder, because what kind of leftist would I be if I used chocolate made with slave labor? Also, I have two of them because one of them is nearly empty. Some salt, which is just the salt that I have. I believe it's Himalayan rock salt. I don't know. It's just salt. A neutral oil. You can use pretty much any oil for this. I'm going with olive oil because it's relatively tasteless. You're gonna need some water, which you can get courtesy of your local tap or bottled water if you absolutely have to. Don't buy Nestle. A 1/4 cup measuring spoon, a tablespoon measuring spoon, and, of course, a mug. Pour a 1/4 cup of sugar into the mug. You don't want it to be heaped on top of the 1/4 cup, so if you have to, just use the dull edge of a knife to just scrape the sugar back into its container. Next, do the exact same thing, but with a 1/4 cup of flour as opposed to sugar. Add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Once again, you don't want it heaped, you want it smooth on top of the tablespoon. Next, add just a pinch of salt. What I like to do is take it from the shaker and just shake it once, but if you want a more traditional pinch, you can do that too. Now, take a spoon and stir all of the dry ingredients together until they're well and blended, like so. Next, take 2 tablespoons of your neutral oil and pour them in one at a time. As you can see, I recommend doing this in your sink as opposed to on your counter, because if it spills, it can get messy. Plus, I had expensive camera equipment around and I wasn't gonna take any risks with that. Next, add 3 tablespoons of water. This is a very important step as it will determine how well your recipe mixes. This is part of why you had to avoid heaping earlier, because I've found in the past that if you heap the ingredients on the tablespoon, then you need to add an extra tablespoon of water to make up for it, and nobody wants that. Now, mix all your ingredients together until they are a single smooth, dark brown batter. I personally would not recommend using a spoon for this part, but rather some form of stirring stick. I personally use the other side of the knife from earlier. This is because otherwise the dry ingredients will coat the inside of the spoon and it'll be hell to get them off later, whereas it's much easier to scrape them off of the stick than the inside of a spoon. Now stick the mug in the microwave for 1 minute and 40 seconds. And voila! You have on your hands a brownie in a mug. You can add a scoop of vanilla ice cream if you want, but I personally chose not to do that because I prefer the pure chocolate. You can eat it with a spoon, and make sure to have it on a trivet so it doesn't burn your countertop. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Did you try this out? And if so, how did it go? Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Later!